What is going on, people? Today we got part 2 of the KvK. This is super delayed, but like I mentioned, I got a lot of new equipment. The computer should be on the way probably sometime this week, the new computer, so that also should take some time to get all set up. But we're gonna pick up where we left off. We got a rally off on this guy, and apparently he had little to no infantry left. But as you can tell there, we sent a solo, and he got capped. As I had already started our rally, so I was like, you know what? His Fury should still have some time left. Maybe we can get this rally off in time before he migrates, because he now has one of our leaders, and we ain't gonna have that. So I go ahead and we keep this rally going, and we're hopeful that this launches and everybody is kind of like already trying to start spamming, but our rally gets canceled because he migrated out. So that means that now he no longer has Fury. He can migrate willingly. So the only real way that we can either force a shield or get him off guard is with some solo attacks. So I started thinking, okay, wait a minute. We're filling our rallies with like 15 to 20 people. So if we have 15 to 20 people trying to fill a rally, well, why the hell won't we just have 15 to 20 people soloing him? So we started to make up a little plan, because we knew his comp at this point, and he had little infantry. He might have a little bit, but not too much. So I started thinking, okay, we're just going to send a whole bunch of range blasts. But since he migrated, we needed to go ahead and get our Fury off. And while we were doing that, well, they were trying to find some targets out here. So this guy started in the 240 million range. And I was not going to port over, because I was like, guys, we need to get our Fury off. And we still had like 8 minutes. So if I refresh, that's another 7 minutes. And I'm not trying to wait for like ever. So yeah, everybody's getting their kills in, but unfortunately refreshing their Fury. So it was one of those things where it's like, okay, you got a target, but then that means you're just going to have to wait an extra, 15 minutes. So I said, okay, I won't join this one. I'll go ahead and go ahead and make sure that we get everything planned out. And as you can tell, I mean, this dude dropped like 60, 70 million. So yeah. So once my Fury was over, I ported to just a random place in the kingdom that he was in. He was also parked in an island, which made it a little bit harder. So all I did is I set up a pin, and I wanted everybody to port around me. Now, this was just to see how many people we were going to have available to us for this solo. And then once everybody was situated, had their gear on, their boosts on, max army size boost, etc., we would all pick a spot that we would port to and then solo and speed it. Because if we don't speed it, then he has an opportunity to heal, and we want the element of surprise in our side. So we had a good, like, I want to say like 20 or so solos. So now all I told everybody was, okay, link in the chat where you are going to be porting, because I did not want people to like try to port and then they couldn't, and they have to find another spot and then try to port, but then someone else ported, you know. So I wanted everybody to port at the same time, attack at the same time, speed up at the same time. So the best way to do that was to make sure that nobody was porting to your spot. So once everybody knew where they were going to port, remember he's in an island, so our solos weren't going to be super close, so we needed to speed up. I was going to do a countdown, and then everybody was going to go. So as soon as I hit go, I was porting, sending my solos, and everybody was going to go in. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and transfer. I'm going to go ahead and send my solo, and check out all the solos. Remember, pretty much everybody went range except somebody. I don't exactly remember who. I think it might have been King Kong. I'm not exactly sure, but he sent caps just in case. But look at all of us getting capped, and then, oh, we're free. And then the shield, Rage was the one that freed us all. But as you can tell, we even had some more solos coming in. And let me tell you, if he does not shield, he was absolutely going to get shield zeroed, because he did not have the troops to hold everybody off. He started with like 10 million troops and got withered down to only less than 1 million. That's how bad it was. Now, he was actually gracious enough after this whole debacle to actually send us the reports, especially the ones that we were captain, because we had the rally one and we had the one that burned, but we didn't have anything in between. So he actually hit me up on line chat and sent me their report. So you know what? Shout outs to him for doing that, because he did not have to do that. So I appreciate that. That way you guys can see how it all went down. Essentially the plan was, since he had little to no infantry, even if he was in an infantry phalanx or an infantry wedge, as long as we send a lot, and I mean a lot of range, eventually it's just going to give. Now, some of us was just going to slam into a brick wall just because, I mean, we were going to get wrecked. But I feel like eventually we were going to get through. So I'm going to go ahead and show you most of the reports here. They're not all specifically in sync, but it gives you an idea of what we were going up against before the rallies, after the rallies, and who did a decent amount of damage. But the name of the game was just the sheer number of it all, because the more that people hit, I'm sure that he got probably a couple of heals off if he wasn't caught too completely off guard. But I mean, look at this. He went from almost 10 million troops to having less than a million. Some hits were absolutely better than others. As you can tell, the less troops he had, the better it was just going to be. I think I actually got one of the better hits. I'm not sure exactly what I hit, but I know that I for sure didn't hit any sort of cavalry, because look at my hit. I got 1.3 dead, and like he dropped like what, I think it was like 13 million on my hit. So I got one of the sweeter hits, but I unfortunately still was not able to burn him. It was Rage that was able to burn right here. This was the one that burned him and released everybody, and he was indeed in an infantry phalanx. So I think that I did it correctly. We burned through the infantry, the little infantry that he had left, and there it is. He was left with 813 at the end, 813,000 troops, and then he shielded. So yeah, definitely great coordination, and like I said, shout outs to him. And then after all that, right, I'm thinking, okay, well, let's keep this party going, right? It's KvK, let's go. Well, I launched this rally right here, range rally, and bah. I got capped. Okay, but look at his gear though. Like, his gear is pretty decent, and we did a decent amount of damage. But yeah, I got capped. So yeah, he was also asking for like 200 or 300k gems to release my leader. I was like, dude, nah. If you're trying to trap, you're gonna release my leader. And eventually he did. He released the leader. And I was able to get it for the end of KvK, which we were going for these forts, and I was trying to get the timing right. And let me tell you, like I always say, the timing is so crucial. And now I don't have to worry about being countered 100% of the time like I usually do, because I'm just gonna send mix, baby. I'm just sending mix, baby. That's all I'm sending. So here is just a matter of timing. So what I do here is I watch from my mini account the timing on the fort and for me to release, and I always, okay, I'm not gonna say always, because then it's gonna be that one time where I don't get it, but usually I'm literally within like a second or no seconds left. And that's why I feel like we were able to get this right here, because you see everybody's already hitting and I'm just chilling, like walking very slowly, and then bah, there. Okay, well, I wasn't able to see it because it dragged me to another fort, but we were able to get Frozen Fort. Actually, we were able to get most of the forts that we went for, and I actually did get a little lucky on that one. I'm gonna wait to show you the report, because I did run into an infantry blast, but I was in range phalanx, so it was technically countering me, but because he had taken a rally before that, I was good to go. So let me go ahead and show you here. We actually were able to take, I believe, 4 or 5 forts, because Spartan was defending one, but it never got hit. Now, take a look at this one. Like I mentioned, it was an infantry blast, and he pretty much only had, like, mainly T5s in there left. and we walked in there with a range failing, so we did kind of get smacked a bit, but we were able to win out in the end just because their timing was off and ours was right. And Harley was the other one. I believe she sent a, I think she sent a mixed comp, yeah, into another infantry rally, but she was not lucky enough to run into somebody that had already run into another rally, so that was the difference there. And then Fox absolutely destroyed this guy because it looks like that guy either did not fill or had already ran into another rally. So timing is everything at the end of KvK. Appreciate you guys for watching, and until later, bye.